What's happening, Cheapfinder fans? Since I'm not exactly the smartest guy, I figured, since today looks like this, and I've got icicles this big growing off the fenders, it's probably the absolute perfect day to get into popping the front bumper off this thing and building the world's most budget front bumper for Project Cheapfinder. Still a little bit struggling in the snow, like an idiot. Since the spirit of this project is doing everything on the ultra cheap, doesn't matter what brand of cheap rig you got going on, all of this stuff is applicable. You don't need to spend big dollars on a $1,200 ARB bumper. All you need to do is find a $100 winch off the internet, and you got to get your buddy, Mint Buddy Nick, to hook you up with a piece of C-channel. And well, step one of this project is Nick actually gave me another piece of steel, but of course, with my luck, where is it? Well, it's over here somewhere. Ah, time to get some cold hands. Oh, ding ding. There it is. That'll be a nice warm piece of steel. Ah. Winch plate. It's a big thanks to Nick for the free steel. This used to be on the front of the Nothing Fancy rig, I do believe. Right, Puz? Tonight's brisk -2 right now. So, might have to put some gloves on. I hate wearing gloves. She's a little tweaked anyway. She's got a comp curve, as we like to say. So far, on this rig, we're 1,200 bucks. I got it all written down on the other side over there, but we're gonna do it for 1,200 bucks, including the cost of buying the thing, and $100 winch, free steel. So 1,300 bucks. We're gonna be out in the wood on 34-inch super swampers doing the thing. So we're going to take off this bolt and the bolt that's in there on either side, drop this thing right out of here. The stock 92 Nissan Pathfinder bumper has been removed. You can see the 4 bolts, and it slipped right out of there. And now we have a blank slate to figure out how we're going to make this look like a bumper. Now, I'm the sort of guy who hasn't watched like a single YouTube video. I haven't even really thought about this much yet. So like, we're learning as we go. But that's not what this is about. This isn't about prime fabrication. This is about getting out of the woods for as cheap as possible. That, of course, a Suzuki has much tighter frame rails than a Nissan Pathfinder. So we're gonna have to fill in a couple blank holes with the old sparkle machine. And we will also throw the ball for pause at least once. Oh yeah, that's gonna be mint. I didn't even realize too, we're almost color match. That's just a happy coincidence. It's not like I painted that grubby old piece. Look, you can tell because there's moss growing in it. I should also say, I'm not bragging when I'm saying like, oh, I don't watch any videos or do any planning or anything like that. Like, the reason you don't do any planning when you're working with free and scrounge stuff is, well, how can you plan around the stuff until you get it in place? I didn't expect these tabs to be on here. We're going to cut them off. And then we're just going to keep making it up as we go here. And who knows what this is going to look like. Angle grind in the snow. Right, Paz? He's working hard. 6-inch wide C-channel. It's 42 inches long. And, well, 21 inches. Happens to make an awfully nice chunk right there. Now look at what we got going on. Now it starts to look like I know what I'm talking about. At this point, it's pretty much just a fill in the blanks show. Come up with a way to mount these corners onto the stock mounts, some way nice and beefy, and find a way to fasten the C-channel on the front here. And then we'll see, maybe we'll do a bar or something like that. But for now, she's starting to take shape. You can also note, you think I've tested this winch to see if it works? No. So here's the hoping this winch actually works. Just chowed way too much angle grinder shum. I wish I had a plasma cutter, but I'm a cheapskate. So zip discs for me. Pull out the old sparkle machine and blast some zesters into this rusty painted metal. I'm an 1/8 high on this side, so I figured what an easier way this bumper mount around but to let some air out of the tires. Precision crafting around here. Well, we might be out of gas now. Big old porosity boogers. Now we're gonna get onto a little bit of CAD design, cardboard AU design, to make some triangles for either side here. And well, what better cardboard to use than the cardboard that we have more of laying around the house than any other. So now I need to go dig in my scrap bin and see if I got some steel this big. And we're just gonna keep filling in the blanks until this looks like a winch bumper. Well, I got my 2 templates, so we got to see if we can find any scrap that's gonna work. Oh, look how rusty this is. Oh yeah, I do believe that's my scrap that I'm gonna have to use. Aside from all the grinder shum that I'm chowing, it's going good. Scrap metal front bumper on the cheap. Oh, and also when I'm saying that I don't have any gas in my welder, here look, here's how much gas I have in my welder. It doesn't even read anymore. It doesn't actually move. So we're gonna work with what we got and do some tacks. Whether I have gas, I don't have gas, I have no idea. But I want to at least get the pieces all figured out for this bumper. And then we'll get the bottle refilled, fully welded out. I know, it's not the way you should do it. I don't care. Go build your own bumper. It's snowing on me and it's getting dark. Let's go have another shop soda. Welcome to living in Canada. Let's keep going on this bumper project. But before we do that, we should probably take a buggy down the driveway and drift the corners, just because why not? On the positive side, it's really warmed up and it's like 3 degrees now. It's just a warm spring day, you know? They've told me to go down and shovel the driveway, so we're gonna do it the only way I know how. Uh-oh. Oh. Zesty. Nice. All right, that's enough screwing around in the driveway. Shovel the driveway for the wife. Oh, it's so scabby. Love it. I should make this Pilsner box longer and tie right into the frame. But, well, I'm a little lazy, and that seems like a lot of work. Is this gonna rip right off the very first time I winch? There's a good chance, but we're all gonna have a good giggle if that happens. And you guys can all say, I told you so. I've been looking at these mounts because of the comp curve in the front of my bumper, but you just put a big adjustable wrench on there. You can bend those bad boys back out. Oops. That's fine. There's the 2 pieces of steel. We're gonna go cut the same on this side. This is one of those days that we call Canadian t-shirt weather. Just because there's a little bit of snow on the ground doesn't mean you can't rock your t-shirt. It's practically warm out. Here's some actual tip for fabbing today. You'll see me do this a lot. My good buddy John taught me this one. But you don't actually have to cut all the way through when you're cutting flat bar. You cut 2/3 of the way through, and then you snap it off. Makes your disc last longer. And well, we all know how much of a cheapskate I am, so anything I can do to make my cutties last a little longer. We're on cutty number 4 so far on this bumper, so we'll have to add that onto the price tag when we do all the math here. I could really do without the drip though. That sucks. I had a gutter on there. It's under here somewhere. Damn it! We got this thing pretty much temped up, ready to fire up the old sparkle machine and tack some no gas tacks on this bad boy. You don't need welding gas. Like you actually do. This is terrible. Such a bad idea. Well, there should be. Under your own power. Pulled the bench out from underneath. Now we're looking good. Also, I'm stoked that my tacks will hold up the winch as well as the bumper. Mint scabby tacks. 3 pieces of scrap pipe out of one of the buckets inside. Mint. Thanks to my buddy Alistair. Ugh. I hate coping pipe with a angle grinder. I'm terrible at it. It's ugly. I'm actually pretty stoked with how that looks. I get this one more piece of junkyard scrap here. I'm liking where this is going. I'm gonna figure out some copes. Well, big surprise. Started snowing. We're winning on the bull bar section of this bumper. What do you think, Paz? I'm pretty stoked how that turned out. Gonna be able to do some truck logging after all. Still standing there, eh, Paz? Well, it's definitely not perfect. You can see this sweet porosity on my tack welds, but it's also holding up pretty good. Lots of welding to be done. And then we'll see if we can get this winch working And then of course, typical me fashion, we'll have to go out and test out the whole damn thing. So far, the $100 winch and winch bumper project for Project Cheapfinder is working mint. Loving where this is going. Some important housekeeping. I got some more names. Put on the side. The Pathmaker on the old Patreon channel. Huge thanks to Curtis R, Josh F, Matthew B, and Ashley S. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. Let's get you on the side of the Pathmaker. Now let's get into finishing up this stupid bumper project. I ran out of welding gas, and the company told me it was going to be 2 weeks to get my bottle hydro tested and filled. Well, that was 37 days ago, and I finally got it back. And let's weld up this bumper. We're going to weld right over top of those porosity tacks. You better believe it. A little bit of a flat tire. All I've learned is that once again, it was proven to me why I shouldn't bother grinding the metal bare. I guess we're welding through some rust, boys. Well, it's turning out okay. These ones aren't so bad. It might not be the cleanest work, but it's probably good enough for Project Cheapfinder. Before all you professional welders get in there and tell me I did it wrong, I know. Well, she's fully welded out. And some of them definitely might not be the nicest weld. Here I was still trying to dial in the old gas. So long and short is you don't really need to know what the hell you're doing. Just buy a welder, get some scrap steel, and you can build your own bumper. You don't need to spend big dollars on an aftermarket bumper. There she is. You sharp-eyed viewers will notice there's 2 extra bolts there. You're absolutely right. I'm missing one on this side because, well, I guess I got a little too close to the plate, so I can't get the bolt through this hole. And on this side, well, that hole doesn't line up very well. We're gonna call it good enough. I think that's pretty good front bumper, considering we're working with all free steel. And see what I see here? I like to see that. That's some heat burn. It means I was getting some good penny when I welded in the ever important vertical uprights. Look at that beauty. For a free bumper, I'm pretty happy with this. So you don't have to go out and spend big dollars and buy yourself an expensive winch bumper. So of course, that's only the first half of this video. It's time to figure out this extremely scabby Warren winch that I bought for $100. Next step on this whole mission is, well, figure that thing out and throw it in there. We'll see if we can bring to life this old crusty winch on this old crusty truck.